stillness. That was a beautiful meditation. And it reminded us that we can always pause. There's a place within. And it's the pause between the breaths, the pause between our thoughts, that we have that place of stillness. And then after we had that experience, Ian blessed us with that beautiful music so we could just bask and rest, not having to do anything. And here it is, the end of 2018. Go figure, what a fast year. Now, I am not going to try to tell a joke because Richard is our chief jokester, and I don't want to upstage the young man. That might give him a little thrill. But I am going to state, what do we usually do this time of year? We reflect on our past year, and we make New Year's resolutions. And so now is the time for resolutions. So some of those resolutions can be things that you want to do. I'm going to lose 10 pounds. I'm going to go to the gym every week. Or they can be qualities of the way you do things. I'm going to be kinder. I'm going to give more to service-minded organizations. But what I encourage you to do this year is to choose a quality, to embody a quality of your beingness from which these acts of doing flow. Now, these resolutions of doing are very sweet and very important. But this year, I encourage you to dive deeper into your divinity. Resolve to embody a quality of beingness, the substance from which you are made. So what is this principle of beingness? Well, Unity and the Bible both state that we are made in the image and likeness of God. And in Unity, we also can call this divine mind, beingness, Christ principle. This principle of beingness is a truth principle that you find in all mystical teachings. The ancient Shiva Sutras 1.1, yoga states that your own self is the whole of consciousness itself, completely free. Your own self is the whole of consciousness, completely free. So let's take a closer look at that. You are made in the image and likeness of God, and your whole self is consciousness itself. I'm going to continue to refer to this beingness, this principle of beingness and consciousness itself, as beingness or consciousness. So consciousness is inherent beingness, the pure beingness that has always existed and existed before anything existed. This goes back to the Big Bang. Have you ever thought about what banged? Well, yoga calls this consciousness, and Unity calls this beingness, or divine mind. So beingness banged, concentrating itself into an extraordinary form of itself. And that's me, and you, and everyone. Beingness is inherent in you. That means you already are it. You are the whole of beingness in an individual form. Let me say it another way. You are the whole of the image and likeness of God in a contracted individual form. It is not a part of you found within. It's not like you can open a little door and look inside and find it. You are the whole of beingness. Ellen Davenport, in her book, The 5 Principles of Unity, eloquently speaks to the whole of beingness with the second unity principle. She states, human beings have within them the Christ principle. Their very essence is of God. She boldly names this chapter, You Are God. There is this underlying, ever-reliant presence, a self-existent beingness that's the basis of who you are. It is an underlying feeling of I am I. It is the eternal dimension of you always being you. It comes from an inner source. It's your inherent divinity. It existed before you were born and will continue to exist after you die. You are the same you as you were when you were a child. Events and things have changed, but you are the same you being you. You wear different clothes, eat different food, and maybe you've even grown up into an adult with new responsibilities and roles to play. You're the same you growing older and being all these different roles. Mother, father, teacher, money earner, caretaker. It's the same you. You are still you when you change your job, change your relationships, or move. Your beingness, your divine essence, is who you are, completely free. It is greater than any of the limitations you might have in your life or the limitations you put on yourself. Nothing can hold you back but you. So inherent beingness is in everyone and everything. It's in everything that exists. And this reality is hidden within you. So your quest, should you decide to take it, is to realize this. So Paul Hasselbeck's book, Heart-Centered Metaphysics, he quotes Eric Butterworth in regard to this quest. It states, the most profound knowledge that you can attain is that your whole existence flows forth inexorably from a universal process, from within to out. He continues to quote Richard Lynch. The ultimate aim of each individual is to gain a consciousness of truth. Our self-reflective capacity allows us to make choices. We can reflect upon and create something from what is arising from within. This is the essence of today's talk, and my encouragement for you to resolve to embody a divine quality this year. So through the practice of the spiritual tools that Unity teaches, we build our capacity of self-knowingness. We have a realization of the deepest dimension of our own self, our divine beingness. The spiritual tools that Unity teaches include self-reflection and self-observation. Genevieve Behrend, in her book, Your Invisible Power, states, as you think, that is what you become. Should be kept in the background of your mind constantly. This is watching and praying without ceasing. And when you're not feeling quite up to par physically, pray. The tools also include meditation. Meditation gives you an experience of your own beingness. With this experience, you can find and be who you really are at the deepest level. You can be present in your own presence so that you can make new choices in your life. Choices that come from your innermost essence and being. The light of your being shines through you in all that you do. You come from a deeper place. Every time you meditate, the light of your own being which is you, arises within you. Your body, mind, and heart become windows that transmit the light that you are out into the world. Your light shines through you as well as through your words and actions. It spills into your life and fills your relationship with light, love, and joy. As you continue to meditate over and over again, you build your capacity for knowing your own beingness. So let's imagine that your mind is a window and it has a blackout shade. No light can get through at all. Each time you meditate, you experience the ever-arising knowing of your own being. With this ever-arising knowing, the blackout shades open a little. And each time you meditate, they open a little more and a little more. You radiate the light of your own being out into the world. How powerful. Another key component to developing our deeper awareness is called pivotal consciousness in unity. In heart-centered metaphysics, it is described. Your conscious can look in two directions, to the outer world or the world within. The world within, whence all its life, power, and intelligence are derived. You have a choice. You can focus your mind and thought on all the things external, or you can direct your mind and thoughts inward to your inherent divinity. The light of your own being arises from its inner source, spills into your life, and fills your relationships with light, love, and joy. So I referred earlier to your mind being like a window. So let's imagine once again, your mind is this window. And the light of your own being shines through the window, spilling into your mind, into your life. So let's imagine I give you a pen that you can mark on glass with. So you take this pen and I tell you on your glass pane to put your name and your address. And now, write what you do, list some of your relationships, your work status, your favorite vacation spot. Now you can also put some of your dreams, some of your fears. Let's go on and include your favorite color, your favorite music, some of the favorite foods you eat. Pretty soon, the window would be so full, it would be hard for any light to shine through it. This is what happens to our minds when all we do is direct our pivotal consciousness to the external. When we turn our attention inside, the light of your own being arises from its source. This light burns through the markings of the window pane, so that your divinity, your essence, can shine through. Today, I'm going to encourage you to practice the spiritual tool of developing God-like qualities from the inside to the outside. Unity names many of these qualities the 12 powers. And we teach how to focus these qualities growing from the inside to the outside. One of the 12 powers is wisdom. I chose to embody wisdom in 2018. I looked the word up. I read a variety of writings from various saints and self-realized beings. Then I turned my focus inward. I spent time contemplating wisdom. I reflected upon my wisdom and observed how I demonstrated it in my life. I allowed this quality to bubble up inside. I had a respect, trust, and commitment to this spiritual practice. And I did it over and over and over again. I did this practice to build my capacity of wisdom. If I am of the substance of God, pure consciousness, then I am the qualities of consciousness. I am wisdom. I did not have to manipulate this truth principle or force it. I needed to be it. I kept my intellectual focus on wisdom, allowed the interweaving to occur in my daily prayer and meditation life, and spent time daily deepening into layers of awareness unfolding. It did take time and discipline to embody wisdom on a daily basis. But anything worthwhile does take commitment, patience, and persistence. Together, we can support each other as a community deepening into our divinity in 2019. What quality do you resolve to embody or deepen in 2019? Take a moment to think about that. What quality do you resolve to embody or deepen in 2019? Continue to take some time today to reflect and commit to this ever-deepening process. Choose a quality to deepen throughout the year. In this way, the profound becomes common, and the mystical becomes accessible. Namaste.